virtual tours are a bridge between photography and videography.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Matterpod. Today we are joined by Brenda from Twinspace360. We're super grateful to have her on the call today, and we're excited to learn some of the insights that she has for everyone today. Brenda, if you would like to tell everyone where you're currently located and how you got started in Matterport.
Okay, so hi, my name is Brenda Chiri. I'm from Nairobi, Kenya. That's in Africa, for anyone who doesn't know. I have a background in construction management. That's my profession. But currently, I'm into now the 3D scanning. I have a company together with my co-founder. I'm the CEO right now. My co-founder and we started the company a few months ago. And basically, we are 3D digital twin providers, or maybe in layman's language, we produced 3D virtual tours.
So what are the main customers that you guys are currently creating virtual tours for? It sounds like you're new to this. Who did you decide that you initially wanted to target to create virtual tours for?
So currently, we usually just got into every industry. Let me just be honest, since we're a new company. So we just decided to get our feet wet, and we started off with the real estate companies. We've actually done some tours for one realtor, and that's how we got started. But currently we are also shooting showrooms. There's an exhibition that we're supposed to be shooting come March. What else have we gotten ourselves into? Furniture shops and stuff like that. So I think we're in all industries right now. We just want to get a feel of all the industries before we decide to specialize.
That's so cool. I think a lot of Matterport providers like yourself, they initially get started doing real estate stuff and they see an opportunity there.
Yeah.
And then sometimes after kind of getting their feet wet, like you mentioned, they branch off and expand their horizons a little bit and start doing more different types of virtual tours for companies, like you said, exhibitions, museums, or showrooms, if you will. When you have approached showrooms or furniture companies, what has been the pitch to allow them or get them to want to create these virtual showroom experiences?
Okay, since the whole virtual tour idea or concept is not really mainstream in the country. So first of all, you have to kind of educate them. So after educating them and showing them an example of what you can do and how you can also customize and just put their brand colors and just, make the virtual tour personalized. I think that's the selling point for them. And honestly, when you tell them also the benefits, they're quite receptive, if I can say so. We tried cold calling.
If you don't mind me asking, what are
Yeah.
some of the benefits that you tell them are of having the virtual tour?
So I think let me talk about real estate. So when I went to pitch to the first client we had, the realtor, she had clients from abroad. So most of them wanted to see what she could offer as, types of listing and spaces. So she had talked about how many clients wanted to scout people from around the city to go and actually look and inspect the listings that she had. But once she had that, I can bridge the gap, and actually most of her clients can see the virtual tours and actually have a sense of presence, in the houses. She was impressed. And I think that's ideally that's how I pitched to her. And yeah, she was quite receptive.
That's cool. Yeah. A lot of times people will say, well, I can just see pictures of a listing, but
Yeah.
in my opinion, the
Mm.
problem with photos is you don't get context for the layout of the home. So you
Yeah.
might be able to see like this is a bedroom, this is a picture of the kitchen, but you don't know where all those rooms are in
Mm-hmm.
conjunction with each other. So
Yeah.
like you said, I love the wording that you used. It gives you a sense of presence in the home.
Mm-hmm.
Basically the next best thing to actually going and visiting the home
Mm.
in person. So I think that there's a lot of value there. Have you been able to, aside from the real estate clients, have you been able to work with furniture companies, and how did you get in the door to those furniture companies and start generating those conversations?
Yeah. So first of all, it's a very funny story. The first furniture showroom I went to pitch, I didn't really go physically. I did cold calling, and that didn't really work. And so when I went to the showroom, and I actually showed the showroom manager what I could do for them, and also telling them how we could personalize the showroom in terms of tagging. He was very, very interested in the tagging because he was quite impressed how we could link a virtual tour and the website where people can actually buy the furniture. He was quite impressed, and it's an international client per se. So he was quite impressed that also people from maybe another part of Kenya or any other place, they could see the tour. They could actually take the tour themselves and see the furniture room in a different perspective, their own perspective. He was like, okay, this is something that he can see. Uh, him escalating the proposal to his superiors, and the rest is actually history. Yeah.
That's so cool. So, did you take a camera with you or an
No.
iPad, or how
Yeah.
did you show him a tour that somebody else had created, or how did you, when you were educating him on
Mm.
the potential of what this experience could turn out to be, what did that education process look like when you were talking to the showroom manager?
So the good thing about Matterpod, it has a gallery where you can take maybe a sample of a showroom that they have done, or somebody who's worked in partnership with Matterpod. You can actually see it. So I walked in with my iPad. I decided to sit him down. I showed him the tour, and I also gave him the opportunity to take the virtual tour himself, so that he can see how easy it is to navigate. Sometimes when you tell somebody a brand new concept, they're like, oh, how is it? Like, what's the user experience? But once I gave him the tour to actually take it and take a walkthrough, he was like, this is quite easy. And he could tell that also his potential clients or customers could actually take the virtual tour, walk through very easily. And yeah, that's how I decided to showcase what I could do.
That's so cool. Have you had success continuing to try to sell those types of experiences to other customers, or
Yeah.
was it kind of a one hit wonder, if you will?
I guess also, you when you're starting out, you kind of have to give them something. So, for example, in the furniture showroom I went to, I decided to tell them that I want to shoot your showroom, but then once you see the work and you're impressed and everything, then we can talk about now payments and stuff like that. So at least that gave him, I don't know, it kind of gave him a good feeling about it, since he was quote unquote getting it for free, but not really for free. So he could actually immerse himself in his own furniture room post production. So I think that also helped. And I think that's a good approach if you're trying to look into it as a new company, though. But now moving forward, since I already have an example to show other showrooms, I think I'll try a different approach.
You hit the nail right on the head. I think you can't be afraid to give away a service for free when
Yeah.
you're starting out.
Mm-hmm.
And then, once you take that tour to the next customer, you can say, hey, your competitor down the street, actually, we just got done
Yeah,
doing this
yeah.
for them. And so,
Mm-hmm.
like, you should strongly consider
Mm.
potentially doing this for you guys. And this is
Yeah.
why you should want to do something like this. And
Yes.
so, it's almost just a means to get your foot in the door and get some potential clients on the line. But I think that there's a ton of value,
Mm.
especially like you said, when you're getting started initially, to not be afraid to
Mm-hmm.
offer a service for free for someone.
Yeah, I think that's an advice I can give somebody who wants to start venturing into 3D scanning. They should not be afraid to provide a service for free once they start out.
Yes, for sure.
Mm.
One question that I have for you, Brenda, is what is one of the biggest challenges that you're currently facing as a virtual tour provider? What are some of the hurdles that you're trying to overcome as a company right now?
So I guess I can start by saying maybe educating the potential clients that I want to uh, work with. I think that's a challenge first because, sometimes the people in authority are a bit old. Okay, for lack of a better,
No, I understand.
yeah,
No, I understand completely.
yeah, they're a bit more mature. So not mature, but you get what I mean. Um, so they're
The
not
older
really
generation
the
just is
older,
not as familiar with
yeah,
the
mm-hmm,
current technologies that
and the
exist, and
trends,
so when you try and explain to them something,
yeah,
it's almost like a foreign
yeah.
concept, like you're speaking a language they just don't understand.
Yeah. So, and also meeting them is also sometimes a challenge because let's say if you want to meet a big client, there's no way you can meet the marketing team instantly. So they give you cards, you try and email them, but I think I'll try another way of getting to them by maybe booking appointments. So I think appointments are key. And I think also another challenge can be once the marketing team has seen and they're impressed about the work, there's a whole chain of command that the approval needs to go through. So I guess you never know if somebody up there is just not ready to embrace change and move away from photography and videography because virtual tours are a bridge between photography and videography. So
Yes.
yeah, I think that's the main two problems. Yeah.
No, I think in general, I would say from the people that I've talked to personally, education is a big problem,
Yeah.
especially outside of the real estate market. I
Mm,
think most people in the real estate industry now, if you say
mm,
Matterport or say 3D tour of a home,
mm,
they all know what you're talking about at this point.
yeah.
But when it comes to these other ancillary customer segments like a showroom, like trying to create some sort of retail experience,
Mm,
or a museum or a school or an airport or whatever it be, I
mm,
think trying to explain the benefit or the
mm,
service in general,
yeah.
I think it is difficult,
Mm, yeah.
to help them understand and see the value of creating a virtual or custom branded virtual experience for them. So I
Yeah.
think that's standard across
Mm,
all the customer segments except for the real estate customer, I would
yeah.
say.
Yeah.
One last question for you before we go. If I know that you're newly starting out, you've only been at this, did you say 3 months?
Yeah, 3 months. Yeah, I can say 3 months.
So I'm sure that you've experienced and learned a lot in these 3 months. If you were talking to somebody who is considering getting started
Mm,
creating Matterport, what advice would you have for them?
apart from what we had discussed earlier, they should not be afraid to give one of their services for free. I think something else I could say is research. Matterport is not the only software somebody can use. But I can recommend it 1,000 times to anybody else. Somebody might talk about, oh, you can't really customize, you can't really do a lot on Matterport. And, thank God for Open House because, I was just thinking about like also having 3D Vista, sorry, um, or any other software to use in conjunction with Matterport. So I guess I also really, really thank Open House for creating just that add-on. just that spice. You know, once a client sees them, like their logos, their brand colors, they're really quite impressed. I think they can see the sense of also like stamp of like I'm here. You know, they can see their names, they can see their brand colors whenever we've customized their tours. I guess in summary, research, see what works for you, also work within your budget, don't really break, you know, yeah, work within your budget. There are so many 360 cameras out there, but if it's me who's recommending, just go for the best, and it's Matterpod Pro 3.
There are lots of virtual tour technologies, if you will. You would recommend Matterport,
Yes,
but work within your
uh,
budget, but you always want to
work with
have the right
the
tools in your
best,
toolbox.
yeah. Yes. Because if you're trying to also sell yourself and sell yourself big, you just better align yourself with also best equipment, best softwares out there.
Yes. No, I agree with
Yeah.
you 1,000%. It makes me so happy to hear that you've had clients that are happy when you do show them the finished product
Mm,
with their
mm,
colors, fonts, logos, branding, etc. That they're like, "Holy cow, this is awesome!" And truly, that's why we created Open House in the first place, was because we landed a couple larger enterprise clients that were like, "There's not really an overlay solution for Matterport that looks good enough aesthetically from a user interface standpoint that we
mm.
want to put our brand on it." So
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
yeah, and so that's really what our focus is helping companies or your clients feel good and happy with wanting to share these virtual tours on their
Mm,
websites, on their social media channels, in email
yeah.
marketing campaigns, etc. And so um, it makes me happy to hear that that's how it's been received so far. So anyway, Brenda, well, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. I appreciate you taking the time to chat with us. And if the people want to reach you, in the future, how is the best way to get in contact with you?
I think they can just visit our website. It's www.twinspace360.com. You can also email us on twinspace360@gmail.com. On Instagram, it's just twinspace360. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we're so grateful to have representation from the Nairobi area, and we wish you the best of luck, and we'll be in touch soon.
Thank you so much.